lò bây giờ ít bây giờ nó cho mỏng bây giờ tao kể một xí nha cho nên một sắc họ chua nè nó chỉ chuyên hàng nhở chỉ bố thôi có lúa nhở có lúa có chừng mua tốt cha nhở
nó 4,000nó với chỗ sai xanh dây số với chừng 4 dây bút số sao giờ lúc bút thì không được
đó họ nói vậy tôi chỉ muốn nàn lúa lên là họ này hay
tiền nọ chỉ muốn nàn á chỉ muốn nàn nhỏ chỉ muốn nàn lúa
nó này cho bên này bây giờ một dây trống thế một tàu khó ốp chùa nè
ốp của mình tàu
ốp của cái tàu ốp của thằng đáy nữa nè
của những tỷ chùa pít nồng à pin dây pít nồng nè
nếu có một tàu
đó ô bát tà ô
chơi chuột
ôi tít chuột thôi tao nhung sư tao cá không
More steps.
Khó chua cái này sao khó chua luôn sai luôn
họ chua
chua cái này nó khó quá không nói nhau ui tu hay thế này
sao lúc họ chua nào
That is the hardest part of the tour. If you can handle that, you should be good. So, before we go in, I'm just going to let y'all know that once we're inside, I'm going to be taking y'all's pictures, a picture of each group individually. So if you could kind of stay with your group as we enter the cave, that would make my life a lot easier. I would appreciate it a lot. They will be available for a potion called the Ordovician Sea. Now, over these hundreds of millions of years, life would live, die, and once it died, its remains would sink down to the ocean floor, accumulating there over these hundreds of millions of years, being pressurized by all the weight above it into a material that we call limestone, otherwise known as calcium carbonate.
nhiều pin cả họ chua đó
chùa rồi. Okay. Then ticket. Chỉ thọ.
cái nào họ chua chua nó một bữa to nữa cho cái táo này của nó trên chạy
Okay, if you want to head down there. Ready for our next group.
bóng lại này
cây nó là hổ nè
ô nó khổng lồ rồi với cái chủng đồ khó nó thủy mà mua rồi à nó mua rồi lồng thế môn trung mục là cử
cho nó ăn gì nó đâu có chua nó nè
Đâu có nó yêu mua là yêu khơi mà.
chiều được khơi mua
số có liền
Regardless of the weather outside, it stays around that temperature. Before we go any further, I need to let all of you guys know that if any of you guys are not feeling well, want to get out of the cave for any reason at all, you just got to let me know, and I'll call down an escort, and they'll get you out of here safe and sound. Really, it's no trouble at all. You just got to let me know. It's part of my job. In the original explorer, George Steiner, of an East Asian village with a big pagoda at the top overlooking the rest of the village. Pretty cool. But as I mentioned outside, 78 million years ago, there were cracks formed in the ceiling as a result of tectonic action. These we call lifelines, because without over time and creating these cave cavities up here, or cavities. But yeah, so we have 4 main formations throughout the cave, generally speaking. speaking, we have Valley of Dreams, that's the name of this room. But before I explain the name, I do want to point out a couple more formations. We have our stalagmites right here. It's column. Does anybody have a guess as to why it's so shiny? Yeah?
It's covered in water, and when minerals drop, it has a shiny reflection.
That's a good guess. It does look like it's wet from all that reflection, but believe it or not, it's actually bone dry right now, completely dry. So all of that shininess has been accumulated over 50 years, and that is people's skin oil, dead skin cells, and bacteria all clogging the pores of the limestone. So yeah, people used to rub this at the end of our tour. Back in the day, there was a huge wall of rocks and boulders right here, preventing anyone from going further. And so before people turned around, they would just rub this for good luck. And we really didn't understand that we were permanently damaging the cave formation. So mountains, the Cave of the Winds, or really anything to do with Colorado. It's a line from a poem about the Grand Canyon. So your guess is as good as mine as to why he wanted it there, but I guess he just really liked it, and that was part of the deal.
Thế nào chị có những dây được số?
Right here on the left, we have some cave popcorn. It's not the only religion like this, so if you call it
Trên là nếu chỉ ta thì cái chỉ lâu làm gì ha? Phá lên khó khoản tu. Nhưng mà chia sủng tu cho khoản tu nào?
Probably the more important factor, though, was that during the early days of the cave's history, the floor of the cave was way higher up than it is now, and so it was much harder to traverse. You had to crawl on your hands and knees to make your way throughout the cave, and it could take about 6 to 8 hours for a tour, so it was a whole day event. But this was one of the only exceptions. Even though the floor was higher than it is now, it was still roomy enough that you could sit up, look at each other, talk to each other, maybe have a snack, tell a story, something like that, hence the name Guides Rest. So you might be wondering what happened between now and then. Why is it so much more spacious and walkable than it used to be? Well, it's a pretty simple technique. We can see the
Cây màu nó.
Vì có hành này cứ một ba hai kia đó. Ba ấy không? Rồi nó mà lấy bút trên nó thử nó trên là có thay nó.
Thay này.
Trên là nó. Ô, sẽ là thử luôn rồi. Thử kia có nó có thử nó. Còn cái sai.
Dây nó một.
silence, it gets that name from the fact that after you climb up that flight of stairs, you are too out of breath to want to talk. Not only that, is the highest elevation point in the entire cave, about 7,000 feet above sea level. Cave of the Winds is actually the second highest elevation cave in the entire United States, only after Glenwood Caverns in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. But way up there, it corresponds nicely with the fact that way up there is the point at which it is closest to the surface, about 30 or 20 to 30 feet below. Excuse me, folks in the This is flowstone that has been cut down the middle and polished so we can observe the layers right here. Right here is aragonite and calcite condensed into these little rosebuds right here. Very pretty, but also very sharp and dangerous. You don't want to touch them. Down here we
Đi đường to của nó là tụi cho là đây đồng cũng nó khó đây tới nó nè.
All right, folks, as I mentioned, this room is called Camping Hall. You can see from this little area back here, it kind of looks like an opera house camping seating or camping theater. But more importantly, this is the first room ever discovered here at Cave of the Winds all the way back in 1880. So let's talk a little bit about that. In 1880, there were two boys, two brothers by the name of George and John.
你哋可能土嘅啲到二嗰啲，我哋可能我考咗數，可能考學啲得啦。
Very closely, you see a bunch of microscopic holes, and these microscopic holes are very good at accepting minerals in water. So that's how the stalactites are formed, but again, it's a very slow and delicate process. Next, we have our stalagmites. Back there.